The SQ8 is one of the sweet spot SUVs because if you go against Mercedes, it's not quite to the level of this. You have to actually go into a full AMG variant, whereas this is a detuned 2 times more or less a Lamborghini Urus. We're showcasing the 2026 Audi SQ8 in polar white over Eris red interior. We have the Prestige package, which ticks this over $100,000. And the features that we've added to this vehicle increase it to almost $130,000. I'm Anthony from Supercar Throttle. It's not just asking the question, is it worth that money? This is a lifestyle type of vehicle because when you're getting something with this type of power, with the dynamics for the weight distribution, with all-wheel steering, a standard quattro system, these are all the pros that the SQ8 brings into content. And when you're competing against BMW, you're getting the same 0 to 60s, but then you're actually getting a savings on the BMW side. So why is this more sawed off? It's not just because we have HD matrix design LED headlights and daytime runnings with Audi laser, because you have to pay extra for that. It's not only because we have the black optic package, which blackens out the mask for the single frame Audi grille. You also have to get the black optic package to get that. Or the Audi ring, they're blacked out because we have the Audi beam ring. Or this lower is all opened up so it sucks in all the air. But one reason why this is a sweet spot is what's housed underneath the hood. It's a 4-liter bi-turbo V8 producing 500 horsepower and 568 pound-feet of torque paired to an 8-speed Tiptronic automatic transmission. But now you have another question that comes into play. Is this something that could be a daily driven vehicle? Well, if you can afford the MSRP and 14 MPGs for the city, 20 MPGs for the highway, I would say yes. It's a standard quattro all-wheel drive system. And it has rear axle steering, so that basically means it has a 50-50 weight distribution. This has the S Sport package, which adds the active roll stabilization and the sport rear differential. But then you have to pay things like these red brake calipers. That's part of that package. Otherwise, you don't get it. So that's definitely going to be a con. Now, this can get confusing because it comes standard as a 22-inch 5-arm flex design wheel. When you get the black optic package, it's going to change that out to a 22-inch 10-spoke wheel. This is obviously not a 22-inch. We have the 23-inch multi-spoke S design wheels bi-colored, and then you get the red brake calipers. That is going to have 6 pistons in the front. When you go into the RSQ8, that's going to be 10 pistons, but both of them in the back are going to be at a single piston. The disc reading is going to be at 15.8 here, whereas the RSQ8, 17.3, and the rear is at 13.8, whereas the rear on the RSQ8 is at 14.6. So you're going to get a little bit better in savings whenever you're doing maintenance on these wheels. So now you're seeing why it's a sweet spot, because you're getting savings from the RSQ8. Yeah, you're losing about 131 horsepower and a 0 to 60 about 0.6 seconds, which is not a huge difference. The top speed, though, is, because at 155, that's at 190 miles per hour, which would be more derived against the X5M competition. But when you go X5M60, you're getting basically the same thing, but this is just a little bit more special because it's basically a Lamborghini Urus engine detuned. That's why I think this is such a sweet spot vehicle. I like the S68, and I'm sure you guys know that by now, because you're getting that engine with a $30,000 to $40,000 savings. But this engine is over $150,000 savings. And yes, you're getting the sport tuned suspension still. It's an air suspension. The rear is going to have the quad exhaust tips. We did have to add the sport exhaust. That to me is ridiculous. BMW does the same thing. Mercedes does the same thing. When you're over $100,000, ticking the box to the Prestige, that should be added, as well as the black optic package. OLED taillights, that's going to go around the whole rear. And the Audi O-rings that was reworked last year. Now, this is not a fly underneath the radar type of vehicle, nor is the BMW or the Mercedes. But if you go to the SQ7, you'll get a third row variant. Same engine, same performance numbers, and that one is going to be the fly underneath the radar vehicle because most people don't think of a third row to have that kind of power unless you're going into an X or you're going into a GLS. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you're new to the channel, click the subscribe if you haven't already. Click the like button. All these clicks help with the algorithm so we can bring more performance vehicles to the channel. 500 horsepower. We're not going to unlock everything right now. There's a lot of traffic in the road. 568 pound-feet of torque. 4 seconds 0 to 60, which is quick. Rear axle steering, so it basically is a 50-50 weight distribution. Getting up onto the interstate. It does it without any problems. Now, one thing to note is if you are cross shopping, maybe you want to go into a Porsche. Porsche, to get something similar to this, you're going to be spending about $20,000 to $30,000 more than this example we're showcasing today. Going against BMW, that's going to be the least expensive in class. Mercedes is going to have to go all the way up into a full-blown AMG variant in order to be competition against this, because if you go into a 53 variant, it's not going to have as much power. That's why for Mercedes, I hate to say it, they don't really have a sweet spot because they don't unlock all of the performance, but the luxury in the smooth drive and the quietness they do. But even here, you're getting soft seats, quiet cabin, which is a con because I paid for the S Sport exhaust and I can't even hear it, or the Sport exhaust I should say, and I can't even hear it inside the vehicle. I can only hear it when I'm racing it. Driving it just regular in dynamics, you're not gonna feel any type of turbo lag. But when you mash on the gas, you can see where the turbo lag comes into play a little bit. And that's gonna be the same thing with the RSQ8. Not so much with the Lamborghini Urus, it's a lot more opened up. So whenever you're mashing on the throttle, it's more rapid. Whereas here you have literally almost a second of hesitation. And the same thing with the RSQ8. It's almost as if they detuned it purposely to say, you know what, you're almost there, dude, but you're not quite Lamborghini Urus money. And that to me is a little bit of a problem because I'm still paying $100,000 and near $30,000 for the example I'm showcasing today. Now obviously you could probably tune it so that way it'll clean up some of that lag. But if I change the driving mode, just to show you, put it into comfort, check this out now. I'm gonna slow down just a touch. Now I'm gonna push the gas. You see what I'm saying? It's not as rapid as it should be for the price that it's illustrated at. And now the 0 to 60. It's a symphony to my ears. V8 bi-turbo engine. Performance like no other. But what I was getting at with the turbo lag problem with it is the fact that you are paying these numbers and then you have to do some aftermarket work in order to make it feel a little bit more seamless. And it does the same thing with my personal Maserati. Until you start spending over $200,000 to $300,000 with these vehicles, that's typically the case with them, that you're gonna feel that lag. So don't expect it to be off the line adrenaline all the time, because when you are in between traffic and then you give it a go, you might have a feel like it's almost a stall because of that lag that comes into play. But the drive comfort is great. Adaptive air suspension, it goes in the 6 inches to the clearance, and it goes up to 8 inches of clearance. Towing ticks the box, 7,700 pounds. That's more than BMW. The S68 engine does sound a little bit more throaty in the cabin. But there isn't really much competition against such a beast like this because of what you're getting as an all-round bargain. Yeah, I have to add a lot of features to make it what it is. But I hate to say it, that's pretty much the case in every single vehicle. It's gonna start under 100,000 and it's gonna go over it really quick. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out this next video right here.